Hey, howdy. Behold, the crustiest game I have played thus far. Okay, so, I'm done with the PopCap games. I have a contingency plan for Allied Star Police. I ordered a iPod Touch 2. It's currently sitting back home. So, once I get back home over the summer, I'm gonna try and tinker around with it, see if I can't get Allied Star Police running and some of the other games that would run on that kind of a system. But for now, I'm left thinking, okay, I'm done with the PopCap stuff. Why not branch out and do some of the other games from the downloadable games era? And my first thought was this absolute, I don't even know what to call this. It's an entire series of games by Sandlot Games, Super Granny. I guess we just go.
I am Super Granny. You can move me around with the arrow key. Try moving me around now. Good work, dear. Be a sweetheart and help me walk to my cat. I found the cat, but he still isn't rescued yet. Help me lead him to this door.
Let me turn down the music volume is weirdly loud. Let's do like this. That should be good.
I love gardening. Move me over here. Help me climb the ladder by holding the up arrow key.
It's one of those games that's just designed for
Bonus flowers.
4-year-olds. So
Take me around the flower
the
bed.
tutorial has to be
When I've
super.
found all of the flowers, a
Well,
super when 100
the tutorial also has to be
flowers, I
super,
get an
as in
extra
super
life.
obvious.
Dig hole. You're the big. Now rescue these cats. Now help me rescue these cats. When all the cats have been rescued, the exit flower appears. Walk me to it. Walk me to this. I can dig holes. Walk me to this arrow, dear. Goodness, I've been spotted. Press the space bar, quick. Wonderful.
Dead.
I can now help
Dead.
me rescue these cats. Come to Nana. Sometimes when I rescue
Like I remember this game very
ladders like this one
distinctly.
will appear. Exit the level.
It's not the best, I'll
Bye,
admit.
honey.
But they made like 7 of these.
Walk me into this watering can to pick it up. Now help me walk to this plant while holding. Thank you, sweetie. See if you can help me solve the rest of the level.
But I mean, I definitely remember playing this. This is very nostalgic for me.
See you later, suckers.
Maybe not this one in particular. I think it was Granny in Paradise is the one that I remember the most. But hey, if I'm playing one, I kind of want to play them all, just to show that these games do in fact exist, and they're very weird. They're weird in a very fun and charming way. And, very dated. Very dated in a fun and sometimes kind of not okay way. But we'll get there. Because, I mean, like, hey. I like playing old, stinky, downloadable era games. It's a nice niche that I've established for myself. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, whatever. Lose a life. But I gained 1 flower. That was worth it. I haven't even seen the garden gnomes yet.
Here, kitty, kitty.
Can You Dig It is such a freaking... It's such a 2000s thing. I remember at a certain point that was the a tagline often associated with the older days of Minecraft. And to this day, I do not know where the hell that phrase came from or why it was so popular, but it was like,
See you later, sucker.
it was genuinely quite popular.
Oh, my precious. Come to Nana.
Dead. He like, hang on. Watch the gnome, yeah. The gnome just dies. He's mulched. What are you gonna do about it, nerd? Do I really want to? Yeah, I may as well. There's one more flower. I think it's over here. I'm not gonna get 100% on every single level because that's insane. Not to mention a lot of these have points of no return. As in, like, a lot of points of no return. So it's probably not wise, but I'm gonna try my best.
Here, kitty,
There's
kitty.
also seemingly no reward. At least I don't remember there being a reward. Oh, you're kidding.
I'm melting.
Unfortunately, you were not quick enough. The gnomes of evil have now conquered the world.
Super
Also,
Granny to the rescue.
sick Wizard of Oz reference, Granny. This is one of those series that just has random pop culture references because what else are they gonna have grannies talk about?
Come to Nana.
I pretty distinctly remember a YMCA joke in here somewhere. Come on.
Come to Nana. Here, kitty, kitty.
Come on. Follow me like the kitties. Granny says, murder in self-defense is not murder. That's great, Granny. And I mean, I happen to think that this game is just not especially fun, but it is definitely, it's a nice starting point. The games will only get more interesting and more, what is even the word for it? The games will only get more dated as time goes on. Both in terms of the age of the games themselves and the age of the references that are in the game. You'd think that as we go back, the references would get older, but it's really the other way around. Because here, the only one that I remember so far is the Wizard of Oz one. The other thing that I remember pretty distinctly about this game is that this was back in the day where every game from around this era that was in, like, the, you know, the Wild Tangent, Big Fish game, Shockwave.net, downloadable / flash games, they all had to have level editors. That was just a thing. Every game from this era was just seemingly required by law to have a level editor. And it was great. Like, that aspect of these old games is something that I sorely miss. Level editors are almost always a positive when it comes to games.
My precious.
And they almost always make games better. The only exception I've found is roguelikes. It's kind of hard to justify a level editor in a roguelike.
Come to Nana.
Because oftentimes, usually with a level editor, it's like some developer tool that's been repackaged for use by the public. And the issue with roguelikes is that, you know, there can't really... Like, what level editor? It's a roguelike. I guess you could use that for, like, making chunks of levels that are used in procedural generation, but for making full-fledged levels, not really. That kind of tool would basically have to be made from the ground up. Sorry, doggy. Like, I remember with Vagante does have a level editor, but it's the strangest thing. It is a fully built level editor, but it's just very weird and cryptic. And I also think of Broforce's level editor, which is, you could definitely tell that the level editor for Broforce was literally just the map editor that they used when making the game, repackaged for people to use. Ah, okay, I was waiting on that reference.
Who you gonna call? Super Granny. Come to Nana.
So remember when I said that the pop culture references never stop? I was being kind of facetious when I said that, and then it hit me with the double feature. Okay, so that doesn't kill you, but falling into a 1-block gap does?
Here, kitty, kitty.
I don't get how you gnomes work. No. The gameplay is really tedious. And honestly, it reminds me of one of those games... Oh, that sucks. Reminds me of one of those games... Oh, that resets the entire level, huh? Okay, never mind. It reminds me of one of those games from the era where games just didn't have a lot of processing power back then, and people weren't very good at making games. So the games that were made were really rudimentary and kind of boring. But it was excusable then, because there wasn't really much to work with. You try making Pizza Tower that runs in BASIC. It's just not gonna happen.
Here, kitty kitty, come to Nana.
That is one nimble gnome, my god. Granny does not feel fear. Oh yeah, I just realized, I don't think I actually told any stories related to the spring trip that I did a few weeks ago, because there's a couple of funny stories associated with it. So every year our choir director brings our chorus to Tampa Bay, the like Tampa St. Pete area, to sing in a bunch of old folks' homes. It's a really nice gesture, and it's also just fun. Because, you know, you get to go to Florida. Florida is fun, and it's full of weird people, and it sure beats being in the North. It sure beats...
Now where are my kitties?
It sure beats being in normal land. Florida just... If you don't know about
I can't dig through rock, dear.
What is this? What are you?
Come to Nana.
What do these do? If these gnomes walk up to the plants, they're gonna fucking die. Hey losers, come here. Okay, thanks. But there were a couple of funny things. For one thing, it's just like classic vacation problems. Oh my god.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Okay. That poor garden gnome.
Now where are my kitties? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
It's all pop culture references. It's all pop culture references. Oh my god. Am I gonna have time to collect everything? Anyway, Florida. So, the classic, you know, hotel problems. We had to wait something like an hour and a half to get our rooms, because naturally we came as a big group, so I wasn't expecting expedient service.
Now where are my kitties?
But I had to wait like an hour and a half. With other people who also wanted to get into the room and get changed
Come to Nana.
and enjoy our time in Florida.
Talk to the hand, no.
What did she just say? I'm worried. Hang on, let me just try jumping off. Are they gonna... Oh. Hey, barely. Oh no, the cats. The cats are dead. Unfortunate.
Oh, my precious.
And I generally have pretty good patience, but you know, waiting an hour and a half with your bags for your room, just kind of having to sit there and wait, it's irritating. But eventually everything was settled.
Here, kitty, kitty.
And to be perfectly honest, the main thing that happened that I thought was fun had nothing to do at all with why we were there, which was to sing.
No.
Because we did do chorus stuff. We went and performed at some old folks' homes. We performed for like a... We're not a... It's not a religious school, but we did a... sang some songs for a... I think it was an Episcopal church. Honestly, the most fun that I had, and just like the most amusing part, was the last day. On the very last day, we went to the Salvador Dali Museum in downtown St. Pete. Or was it downtown Tampa? I actually don't remember. Death. Anyway, we went to the Salvador Dali Museum, which was already weird at face value because, you know, it's Dali. If you know anything about Salvador Dali was a freaking weirdo, man. Like when a friend of mine, when we were there, said something to the effect of, normally you look at an artist, oh wait, those are like telephone wires. Usually you can look at an artist and the artist is fairly normal and they just make weird art. Like that happens a lot with Flash animators and just like animators on the internet in general. They make the weirdest art you've ever seen, and then you look at them in person, they're just some guy named Bob.
Come to Nana.
There's some guy named Bob who just likes making weird art. Salvador Dali is not one of those people. Salvador Dali was a freak in multiple senses of the word. I don't necessarily mean freak in a derogatory sense. He was kind of just strange in every aspect of himself.
Talk to the hand, no.
Did you just say talk to the hand?
Bye, honey.
My one fear is that this game is probably going to be long as hell.
Oh, my precious. I much prefer a kitty.
But the Dali Museum was just fun, because it was fun walking around and seeing the weird stuff. Especially knowing what I know about Salvador Dali. I looked up the Wikipedia page before we got there and was just sitting there awestruck at the weird shit that Salvador Dali got up to in his spare time. Because that was the whole thing with him, is that not only was he a very talented surrealist painter, he was a master at capturing his own image. He was unbelievably good at playing the crowd. Especially when it came to the crowd in America. Because the public image is that's what really got him famous. You know, the mustache, the fact that he had like a,
I can't dig through a wall of dirt. Let's back up and try again.
he had like an ocelot as a
Here,
pet or
kitty,
something,
kitty.
something crazy like that.
Come to Nana.
Some other interesting things about Dolly. I'm not going to talk about the more questionable stuff, like his sexuality. I'm not even going to go into that because it's not safe for work. Just the dude was a freak, like I said. The other thing that was very funny to me was that Dolly was... I don't think he ever directly stated it, but fairly certain that Salvador Dali was a Nazi sympathizer. It wasn't... I've never found anything that directly said, like, yeah, he's part of that kind of stuff. Okay, what do I do here? Huh. Well, the gnomes being there is a problem.
Talk to the hand, no.
This would be a whole lot easier if the gnomes were actually in position. But unfortunately, they're in the worst possible spot.
I'm melting.
Do I have a jump button or something? No. The deuce. Oh, I didn't even see that up there.
See you later, sucker.
Looks obvious to y'all, I'm sure, because it's just the top of the screen, but it blended in really, really nicely with the white bar at the top of the application. I didn't even see it. I didn't see it for the longest time. Oh crap. This works. But what I was saying, like Salvador Dali was, I don't think he was explicitly a Nazi sympathizer, but it was
You got a call.
the unfortunate thing about World War II is a lot of people, it's sort of like America in the Civil War, a lot of people sort of like implicitly supported slavery even if they didn't condone the practice morally, because they had other, especially economic obligations that made them want to keep the practice. And it's really gross, and it's a very similar situation here, that there were a lot of people that were fine with it mainly just because going against it would have hurt them financially. And Dolly was one of those people. And as it happens, he fled Germany after World War II. Now, note that I said after.
Oh, the view up here is wonderful.
The original assumption for that statement is, oh, he left fleeing persecution. Well, in a sense, yes. When I say persecution, I don't mean persecution by the Germans, though. I mean persecution by, by his neighbors. Because the neighbors found out about his affiliations, and as you can imagine, people in Spain were not a fan. Especially not after the war.
Oh, my precious.
And he and his wife fled the country after his house was stoned. I'm pretty sure if he didn't, they would have burned his house down. So that's kind of funny. The other thing that comes to mind about Dolly is that Dolly... How to put this?
Here, kitty, kitty.
He had a very unique idea of things like how to catch the eye of the viewer. How did that gnome walk right over it? Things of like how to catch the eye of the viewer,
Come to Nana.
stuff like that. So there was a short film that he made called Unschuld an... What the... Hello?
I'm getting too old for this. Granny's in the house.
Unschuld Andalou, an Andalusian dog. Look up the synopsis if you're going to watch it. Mind the tags. It's one of those. Like, isn't it so surreal and isn't it so weird and surreal when something just disgusting happens on screen? You know what's the most surreal thing I can think of? Being horrified. And there was an exposition at the... Ooh, God. There was an exposition at the Dolly Museum of, like, Dolly in cinema, and I was so paranoid the entire time that they were going to show that little short film. Thankfully, they didn't. God, these stupid gnomes. Go away. I'm gonna need to get this key, aren't I? Yeah, figures. Go away. I'm busy, can't you tell? The other thing that was really funny about the Dolly Museum was what happened when we tried to leave. See, that entire week, while we were walking around in Florida, there was some mention of this big event. To this day, I don't know what the event was. I think it was some sort of, like, NASCAR-esque race. I don't think it was explicitly NASCAR, but it was similar sort of thing. Well... Is it poison down there? So, we were kind of just walking through the industrial part of Tampa, trying to find the entrance to the Dolly Museum. And then as we were coming back, in order to get into where the entrance to the Dolly Museum was, we took this long metal bridge. Well, on the way back, we tried finding that same bridge that we used to get in, and it was gone. Presumably they were using it to set up for the event, and then they removed it. So we were sitting there, like, what in the name of Monty Python? There's just no bridge. Bridge is just gone. Sorry, folks. You gotta find another way around.
YMCA.
There's the line that I was thinking of. Talk about a dated set of references. Who let the dogs out in YMCA? Are you not gonna follow me, cats? Now you are. I'm good to go for like another 5 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna call it. I don't wanna stretch my voice too thin because I do have a concert on Saturday, which is like the big one. Come on. Come on. There you go. But I'll go for like another level or two.
Super Granny.
Damn it.
Oh, bother.
Well, alright then. My final ranking Feral Shrew. That's another thing that should come back. Local leaderboards with rankings. That's fun stuff. So what is contest mode? Is it just time trial? It is just time trial, okay. I'm fine with skipping that. The cats. Yes, I'm missing my soaps. That one's pretty good. What does this even link to? Damn, okay. Well, this page is all in Russian. Yep, this page is all in Russian. I'm going to assume that used to be a proper URL, and it's, you know, this is from like 2003, so it's no wonder that it doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, that'll have to do it for me. This is funny and stupid and very interesting at the same time, and I can't wait to play more games by Sandlot. I have a few in mind. But that's all I got. Thanks so much for watching.